Oh, hey guys. Here we are at the Thompson household, and we're having our nightly dinner with Ruthie here. And let me tell you something about Ruthie. She does not love food. Now, she'll eat things like fruit, like blueberries, or she'll eat these little puff cereals, but she doesn't really like it when we try to feed her. So I started keeping a statistic of how often Ruthie refuses the food that we give her. And you'll notice if I keep trying to feed her, she keeps refusing over and over, and she's just not really into it. So we're going to be looking at some data today of this little girl's eating habits and how sometimes she does not care for the food that we are feeding her. And we'll try to see if we can make any observations, if we can come to any conclusions about maybe like are there any patterns of when she'll eat and when she won't eat. So I'm going to need your guys' help to figure out this big food problem.
All right, guys. So this graph here represents my daughter Ruthie, as I just told you, refusing food. Now, the numbers along the bottom of the graph, so when you see like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and so on, that represents the amount of times that she refused food. So if we're talking about 8, it would be on top of the 8. Now the X's here represent the number of days that happened. So, for example, there were 3 different days. That's why you see 3 X's that she refused food 8 times. You'll notice that there are a total of 20 X's on this particular screen. That's because I did this over the course of 20 days. So when you're looking at this line plot, I want you to think a little bit about what is it showing? What kind of stands out to you about this line plot? Um, does this line plot have any outliers? Are there any days that are different from one another? And are there any days that seem to be, are there any numbers that seem to be about the same for all of the days? And what kind of conclusions, what kind of stories can we make from this? So I want you to think about this line plot, look at it a little bit, think about what it means, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more.